no idea what I'm doing. I'm about to be 21 this year, and I just started to realize that there are a lot of things that I reflected on this past year that didn't really match up to what I thought my 20s were gonna be like. So I figured, why not talk about it? The fact that I'm about to be 21 still blows my mind. Like, I still feel like I'm 17. And I think, in a way, we're expected to act like adults, but we don't know what we're doing. This is my first time being 20. This is about to be my first time being 21. There isn't a set guide of, oh, you should do this at this time to be a successful 20-year-old. But there's just so many different things that I feel like I should know that I don't. I personally wasn't very active in the dating scene when I was in my teen years. So learning how to date and interact with men is just, I think just the transition into adulthood is very interesting. Because while I am 20, about to be 21, I still feel like a teenager. I still live with my parents, and there are just a lot of things I feel that I don't necessarily know how to come into my own. Another thing is being your own parent. Growing up, I had two parents that were responsible and told me what to do, how to get things done, even in the moments where I didn't feel like it. And because they were my parents, I did what they told me to, and I got the stuff done that I was supposed to on time. But being an adult, there's no one here to tell me, oh, you gotta wake up by this time, make sure you set your alarm, you gotta go to work, you gotta, it's just, I wasn't always the most disciplined person to begin with, so learning how to discipline myself is just difficult. Being in my 20s, I think, can be a little bit embarrassing, to be honest, because in a way I feel like there are things that are expected of being a 20-year-old that I should know. Like, just recently I learned how to put air in the tires for the car for the first time, and I just felt like so embarrassed that I didn't know how to do it. I had to ask for help. And there's just a whole long list of things that I think I need to educate myself on in order to become a full-fledged adult. Patience truly is a virtue. I wouldn't say I'm terrible with patience, but I do struggle at times where I want things to be the way that I want them to be in the time frame that I want them to be. I don't know how I thought this, but I thought as soon as I would be 20, I would be moving out of my parents' house. I would have, like, all of my finances would be sorted out. I hear a lot of the time older people tell younger people, oh, well, now's the time to travel, now's the time to make mistakes. With what money? I think learning to have patience, not just with myself, but with outward outcomes, it helps make things a bit smoother, in my opinion. Being 20 is a lot more lonely than I thought it would. I thought being 20 would automatically get you invited to parties for some reason when I was younger. I've never been to a party. I don't have a big friend group. I only have one best friend. I'm very grateful to her, but she lives in another state and we barely get to see each other anymore. So now I'm just kind of by myself. I try to put myself out there, but everyone else has their own issues. They're trying to figure themselves out as well. And it's just really hard to connect with people. And in the moments where you are on the same page, there's no guarantee that you'll mesh well. I don't know how many times I have talked to people, I have put myself out there, got ghosted, they were rude for no reason. That's another thing that intrigues me about being in my 20s is when I see other people with big friend groups or I see them in a relationship. Like, I truly don't understand how they're doing that. Like, how do you balance your friends, your relationship, your career? Like, how are you? My 20s, they have been confusing, they have been messy, but at the end of the day, it's exciting. It's a little scary, but exciting. And I think part of the reason that it's so exciting is because there's so many different possibilities of who I could become as a person. I started my YouTube journey just recently. The possibilities are endless. After reflecting on this past year, I realized that I have to give myself grace and forgive myself for not having everything figured out. I'm being too hard on myself. And I also realized that there are a lot of people in the same situation that I am. So I hope talking about this is something that you can relate to. We'll figure it out along the way.